Okay, I mean, we are inching closer and closer to totalitarianism. We are taking playbooks straight from the Chinese and straight from Soviet-era Russia. If it gets bad enough, that's when finally enough people are going to wake up and they're going to say something about it. But I mean, it's absolutely astounding that Robinhood is locking out the people who are buying these stocks, telling them that, no, you're not able to trade any longer, delisting these companies from their search results. I mean, it shows that the hedge funds are the people who matter. Only the rich are the ones who matter. And I would not be surprised if we see this successfully tank a couple of hedge funds, and then Congress comes out with some sort of bailout, like a multi-billion-dollar bailout for these hedge funds to keep them in business. And when you put that against what Joe Biden just did to the oil industry, to the fracking industry, killing 70,000 jobs on his first day in office, man, that's going to be enough to really, really piss a lot of people off.
Right, and on top of that, this is being discussed everywhere. Like, this isn't just like an isolated thing to, like, the stock market world, people that are into watching those things, the ones that actually leave Fox Business on all day. Like, that's not how, like, the fact that this is so public now to where you've got Elon Musk behind it talking about it, you've got Mark Cuban talking about it, Don Jr., Congress
AOC.
people are, her, which I'm sure somebody had to explain to her what the stock market is before she put that tweet out. But having, like, all these different people discussing it, they can't make this go away, because then if they do a bailout, like what Bill said, or do some kind of thing like allowing these freezings of buying stock. I saw some people, because Ameritrade's doing it too. They're freezing people out from being able to do anything. Apparently people had like sent in their request to buy stock like yesterday. Yeah. And then they woke up to messages today saying that it was rescinded and they didn't get the sale.
Wow.
Like they're like, we're not doing it. So they're also cutting off people from even getting involved in this. This is what's going to happen here. And I told you right before the show started where we're going with this. I'm not trying to get ahead of you, but there's already class action lawsuits being filed. Mm-hmm. At like Robinhood and stuff like that because of that. And you've got to think about how many people are involved. They said one of these trading apps, I can't remember which one it was specifically. They said over half of the users of that platform own some level of GameStop stock right now.
Oh, wow.
So you have to think that's so many. I saw things all the way from it was like 250,000 shares were being moved a minute or something like crazy like that yesterday.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, really, it comes down to what that number is on Friday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be very – because even at 248, which is what it's at right now, that is a terrifying marker to them to begin with. So the whole idea of it was 483, but now it's only 249. That's still damning to these hedge funds.
Yeah.
But that's a big problem. So, yeah, we'll see where it is tomorrow.
Very, very fun. So here's another quote from a Reddit user on Melvin Capital's some type of forum. You're a firm who makes money off of exploiting a company and manipulating markets and media to your advantage. I dumped my savings into GME, which is GameStop's symbol, paid my rent for this month with my credit card, and dumped my rent money into more GME. This is personal for me and millions of others. I'm making this as painful as I can for you. I absolutely love it.
It's beautiful. Now, I see somebody asking in the chat, I guess we should consider this about Dangleberry in the chat says, wait, what did GameStop even do? GameStop was just a perfect storm that ended up having this battle, being the battlefield here. GameStop was going down. I mean, their business, they were basically just holding on for dear life at a point, and then so the shorting started happening, and then the Reddit community found out about it and realized how bad it was, like how great of an opportunity it was to really stick it to Wall Street. GameStop, I would love to be a fly on the wall to be able to like watch the owners of GameStop over the last week because they're like, all right, we're coming to an end. You know, we've had a good run. You know, do we have to file for bankruptcy? You know, all this different stuff or whatever's going on with them. And then they became the number one stock in the world. Like, how do you even wrap your head around that? Like your business which is video games, having nothing to do with the stock market, like literally video games, is now like the biggest controversy since we had the bailouts and the stock market crash of 2008. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
So Luke Slytalker sent me this article from the New York Times, the former paper of record. He said, AOL was my jam back in the day. This Reddit thing reminds me of this old case. Some of this SEC case might be used to go after the people inciting the purchase of these various stocks. All profits were made to be given back. So, here's the thing, though. They're not profiting off of their investment. They're just not selling. That's the thing. And it's not stock accounts. It's 4.5 million individual users and countless more who are all over the world who are purchasing GameStop and other stocks. I mean, these are just normal, average, everyday people. Online forums all the time. I mean, they talk about what types of stocks to buy, sell, trade, all of it. And, like Method said, this is exactly the same thing that Wall Street does every single day. My question is, why isn't it illegal for hedge funds to short sell and put companies out of business? That's what needs to stop. Somebody in the chat said we need to end all public companies. I think that's not a good idea. I think that public companies should most certainly have the right to exist and, of course, do business. But I think that what needs to stop is the short selling. I think that that's, wholly unfair because there's all kinds of reasons why it's done. And, generally speaking, I think it's dishonest. And, it used to be illegal, but it's not illegal anymore. It's just a disgusting practice.
Yeah, and they should have thought about if they really wanted to regulate, they should have done it as soon as the COVID, nonsense started, because they knew companies would be hurt even more. And I wonder how many other short stock like moves are being made at this kind of caliber on other things that we're just not looking at yet.
Yeah,
because they were not like to these people. Some of them obviously, that they trade on people's livelihoods. They probably aren't like the most upstanding people, or at least a lot of them. How many of them saw this as an opportunity for them to short a bunch of the companies that are just hurt because of something that came from China? Like that to me is like, I think that there's, whether you believe in karma or, like things coming back to get you, be sure your sins will find you out, whatever you want to call it. Like this needs to happen with Wall Street. I'll be completely honest. Like it has to happen.
I got to stand up. Okay, that's better. Okay.
I love how it looked like you just had like robotic legs. Nobody's ever seen your legs, I guess. So like that honestly looked like you just straight up like Go-Go Gadget stood up.
I mean, honestly, nobody actually knows. I mean, I might not have legs. I might be standing on fake legs, or I might be standing on a platform right now. Nobody would even know. So if you saw me in person, you probably wouldn't recognize me because you'd see that I had legs, and it would be weird.
He's actually only 3'7". Just to be honest, that was a platform. And yeah.
Oh man. All right. So so while these people on Reddit are legally buying shares of stock, not even profiting off of it, not buying it, pumping it up, and then selling it off, they're buying it and they're holding it as part of their portfolio. Perfectly legal. Absolutely 100% legal practice that they are taking place in. And I want to also note that on Wall Street Bets, the people who are giving these ideas out are also saying, don't listen to me, not financial advice. I am not a financial trader, just a guy on the internet. They're putting that disclaimer out there. And, what people want to do in their personal time with their own money, with their own stimulus check. I saw a lot of people in the chat say they never even got it. I never got one either. But I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I don't want their money. Dianne Feinstein and her husband, they've had a couple of close calls with Wall Street stuff. Dianne Feinstein, her husband, I guess, bought a bunch of stock and then never disclosed it until, the time was after the deadline or something like that. Her husband made a stock purchase in a polling firm, the Generation Lab. I think that's interesting, a polling firm. Because, what do we know about polls? They're designed to create voter suppression, right? They take polls of people, they sample incorrectly so that they get the results that they want to get. And then that's how they reported that Joe Biden was going to win this election. It's part of a psyop to make people believe that the things they're seeing are organic, but I mean, they're obviously not. Yeah, I mean, it's all about deception and manipulation.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just paying off people to lie to the American people and call it polling.
Yeah.
I do have to point out this comment. The real Taserface says that you lost your legs in Muffin Gate.
I did. Yeah. I just had a couple of bloody stumps after that night, and no, Muffin didn't break my toe. No. What happened was I was walking. I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I forgot that I had closed the door. I was half asleep, and I just had my eyes closed. It was pitch black anyways. I wouldn't have seen the door. I walked straight into it. Well, my left foot was the first thing that went into it, my left big toe, to be more specific, and it popped right off. I guess I kicked it pretty hard. I wasn't really thinking because I was asleep, but I woke up right away. It was extremely painful. And I had to wrap it up, and when I turned the lights on, there was blood everywhere. It was like a massacre. And now today it's starting to feel better. I don't know how I'm going to be able to wear shoes. I still haven't been able to wear shoes. But I have a pair of boots that are like steel-toed, so like they're kind of high-domed. So I'm going to try to wear those today because I got to walk the dogs, and I got stuff to do out in the real world. Not everything's online.
I'm sure we all appreciate the toe update.
Yeah.
But didn't you say it the first time that you had lost your toe?
Yeah, I said that.
I saw people talking about that, and the child was like, he would have told me if he literally lost his toe somehow.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah, didn't actually, I just misspoke. Left big toe nail. Sorry, I need to be more careful with my phrasing. But yeah, it's definitely my big toe nail. So what's going to happen with Dianne Feinstein and her husband illegally not reporting their stock purchases and in businesses that could be very, very helpful in getting their narrative across? I mean, they're just going to pay a fine. Nothing's going to happen.